on my way to bed, and I had this message in my heart that I wanted to share with you. I really feel compelled to share with you tonight before I lay my head down. Something God had shared with me earlier today, and I wrote it down in one of my notebooks. God speaks to me throughout the day, and I write down what He says, or I record it on my digital recorder. And oftentimes those things are for me to keep, for me to develop, for me to marinate on and cultivate, perhaps later for a sermon. But this particular message that He gave me today, this word of wisdom, I felt compelled to share it tonight, live from New York. It is colder than a polar bear's armpits. Weatherman said it's 19 degrees, but he also said it feels like 9. And I think he's lying because it feels like below 0. It is cold. It's a record cold day for New York for this time of year. But we are just grateful just for the goodness of God, grateful for the mercies of God, grateful for the faithfulness of God. No matter what you're facing, what you're going through, just keep in mind that it's important that you keep the faith as different events unfold and tragedy strikes your family and mine and others. We have to remember to keep the faith, because that's what the enemy is after. He's after our faith. God said to me today to remind the people of God to live in strategic self-harmony, to live in strategic self-harmony. And I've taken notes, and I'm just going to refer to my notes because that's going to be the freshest way for you to get exactly what He said to me. The first thing He said to me was that it's important that we have a clear image of our desired outcomes. Number one, it's important that we have what? A clear image, or a clear vision of our desired outcomes. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain. The vision is the foresight. It is the prophetic outcome. It is the way that you want your life to unfold, the way you see yourself in the future. That it's important now more than ever in 2022 and going forward that every single one of us have a clear, and I mean a crystal clear, vision and an image of our desired outcomes. And then he said, here's the second most important part of that, because a lot of people have a clear vision, but they miss this part. And then after you have that clear vision, you have to live by a strategy that empowers end results you desire. Now, let me tell you something. That's powerful. It's not enough to have a vision. It's not enough to write the vision and make it plain. It's not enough to have a vision board. It's not to have this vision or ideal for your life. It's not enough. The flip side of that is that you and I have to live by a strategy. And you guys, if you know anything about me, I live and breathe and preach and teach strategies. Strategies. God honors strategies. God works through strategies, because where there is no strategy, there is no strength, there is no success, there is no succession in your life. Strategies are everything. The Bible says before we set out to accomplish anything, that we should count the cost, so that once we begin a thing, we can make sure that we have everything we need to finish what we've started. You know what that is? That's strategy. Everything boils down to a strategy. And you have to have a strategy for your life. And that strategy has to impart the vision and the image of the desired I have for your life. In other words, you can't say one thing and do something that's the polar opposite of what you say you want, what you say you want to become, and what you say you want to do. You have to live in harmony, catch this, with yourself. Many of us are at war with ourselves. Don't think we quite realize that that's the case, that we are literally fighting against ourselves. One of the things that I teach a lot of people how to do is to get out of their own way. Oftentimes they think it's the machine, they think it's the government, it's the system, it's their enemy, it's their haters. 99% of the time, it's none of those things that are stopping them or impeding their progress. 99% of the time, it's them in the way of their own progress. I want to encourage you tonight and then tomorrow again when you get up to start thinking about your strategy for living and to look at the desired outcomes you have for your life, your 5 year plan, your plan where you want to be in 20 years, and then look again at the life that you live and ask yourself, am I life strategy that empowers the end results that I desire? If your result that you desire is financial freedom, are you living by a strategy right here, right now, that empowers that vision for your life? If the outcome or the end desire for your life is to be able to bless others, then what strategies are you currently living by that empower that vision? I just want to make this simple and plain. I want you to have all of the tools in your disposal so that you are doing everything that you are supposed to do. Down the vision that you have for your life, because let me tell you this, you can do it. You have the power. The third thing God said to me was, instead of being a victim of chance, be a be a vision of choice. And I thought that was good. Instead of being a victim of, be a vision of choice. Now, what that simply means is you have to understand that your choices have to harmonize with your desired destiny. Let me say that again. Your choices have to harmonize with your desired destiny. I remember learning about harmonies when I sung in the choir at Greater Word of Deliverance on Elko Road in Perry, Georgia. I learned about 4-part harmony. It also helped me when I was a band member from 5th grade to 12th grade, playing different instruments, learning about harmonies, learning how individuals could play different parts to bring a more fuller sound and a more beautiful and more fuller presentation to the musical piece. So harmonizing. I want you to understand this, that you must be in harmony with yourself. In other words, what you say you want, you have to be in full support of that with your actions, with your behaviors, with your decisions and your choices. And when all of that comes in alignment, you are empowered like a rocket that is firing on all the thrusters, getting ready to leave one atmosphere and enter into another atmosphere. There's something powerful when you are working in synergy with yourself. I truly do believe that when we start working in concert with God and then we start working with in concert with ourselves, I absolutely believe that we are unstoppable. Who can stop us? If God be for us, who can be against us? Absolutely nobody. But you have to make sure that you are doing your part to support your own vision with your choices, your decisions, your behaviors, your actions. And you have to have this long term ability to see the end result. You have to have an ability to keep your eyes on the prize, even in the presence of your pain, to keep your eyes on the prize, even when you're dealing with disappointments, to keep your eyes on the reward. That's why we do what we do now, so we can have what we want later. You have the power, and I'm just reminding you and encouraging you to take that position of strategic harmony in your life. Now, the next thing God said to me was to remind you of Romans 7 and 19 as an example of how we can be at war with ourselves. Romans 7 and 19 is a perfect example of how we can be living in a way that is anything other than harmony. And you know the passage is very familiar. Just patronize me and allow me to read it and refresh your memory quickly here. It says, "For I have this desire to do good, but I carry it out. I have this desire to do good, but I cannot carry it out. For what I do is not the good I want to do." Wow. No, the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. Perfect picture of being at war with, perfect picture of not being in harmony with one's self. Encourage you that if this is your experience, if this is your testimony, the good you don't do and the evil you don't want to do, you find yourself doing, I want to encourage you to let know that you have the power to become your own hero. You have the power to become your own best friend. You have the power to become your biggest supporter. And I'll tell you this, if you are going to make it to that better place where your dreams are and your vision is, the life you want to live, the person you want to be, the things you want to accomplish in this life, you're going to have to get on your own team. And you're going to have to stop being an opposing opponent to yourself. Ooh, I got to say that again. You're going to have to stop being an opposing opponent to yourself. And for some of you, it's so sneaky that you don't even realize you're an opposing opponent to yourself. You don't even realize that you're out of harmony with yourself. And I'll give you some examples. You discourage, you belittle yourself, you talk down to yourself about yourself, you speak negatively to yourself about yourself. All of that is proof that you are not on the same team with yourself. All of that is proof that you are an oppositional obstacle to yourself. And the good news is, if you can be against yourself, you can be for yourself. Yeah, if you can stop yourself, you can support yourself. If you can discourage yourself, come here, David, you can encourage yourself. If you can sabotage yourself, please don't miss this because I'm done. You can set yourself up for success. I want you to be encouraged tonight and be mindful of the importance of living in strategic self harmony. It's a major game changing mind. It's a major game changing concept that I just wanted to share with you tonight. I pray that you found value in it. And more importantly, I pray that you will apply it. And when you wake up tomorrow, you will be more cognitively conscious of every action, every word you speak, every thought you think, and in every way that you behave. And that you will begin to take inventory of all of that and ask yourself, is this empowering me to be the person that I desire to be, to have the things that I desire to have, and to do things that I desire to do? Harmony is not just beautiful, harmony is powerful. It's time for you to live in strategic harmony with yourself. Do it, and I promise your life will improve for the better. Well, hey, this is Pastor Troy Wynn Sr. Just wanted to share that word with you before I called it a night. And I pray that it blesses you. If it does, leave a comment. More importantly, apply what I'm sharing. And if you can, share it with others in hopes that they might too be blessed just like you. Have a good night, everybody. God bless.